Coming up on the next episode.
Alright, I am here at the, not at the bench for a change. This is the new printer table that I bought for my new printer, and the new printer is right behind there in a box. This came in yesterday, and the printer itself came in last week. But I wanted to wait before I opened it up. I wanted something to set it on, so this is going to be it. This is really ideal for what I want, but it's a little bit, it's on rollers for one thing, which makes it nice to move around, obviously, but I had one little problem with it, and that was the fact that, and I don't know how well you can see that, but there is one of these missing. You're supposed to get, I think, 12 of these, yeah, and I got 11, and this is one piece here. There's a little extension here, a little extension here, and that's the way it's supposed to be on each leg. It's supposed to be a long one and two of the short ones on each end. But on this top one, I had to remove all the extensions and then use the extensions to make a long one. That's basically what I did. And so that left two of the extensions left over, and here they are. You can see those. But this is really going to be an ideal table, I think. These are cord holders here in the back, and in the front, like I said, there's the drawer for little whatever you need, tools or whatever. Nice. It's really a decent table. I like it, but you know, and what I had done was bought these banker boxes. Let me get one of those and I'll show you. And I had planned on putting those in the shelves underneath the underneath each shelf, what do you call it, shelf here. But as you can see, they're just a little bit short, or a little bit too tall. What I'm going to do is probably take the lids off of each one and trim enough off the top here that you'll, you know, take maybe, well, I won't say an inch, probably 3/4 of an inch off the top, and then it will fit in there nicely, I do believe. And if that's the case, then let's see how they fit without the top at all. See, that's pretty darn close. So that's going to be maybe an inch. Yeah, it may be an inch that I have to take off. But anyway, whatever it is, that's what I'm going to take off. And I can use two of these. I've got three. I didn't think the top one would work anyway because of the little drawer, and you know, it wouldn't have. But you know, I could have trimmed one down even more, I guess, and done it that way. But like I said, I'll have room for two of them that way, and you know, that'll make some storage for me for printer filament, things like that, and such. But solid little table. I'm very happy with it, other than the missing leg. And I don't know if I'm going to even do anything about that, because I actually like the height of it better this way. It was a little high, you know. It was a couple more high, around that high. So I think this is much better. I'm sitting in a chair where I normally would be sitting, and like I said, it comes in pretty good at that height. So, and I'm still, of course, now I'm sitting on the carpet, and it moves a little bit with the carpet, but the table itself is pretty sturdy, so I can't complain too much like that. So what I'm going to do is basically open up the printer behind there, and we're going to sit on top here and see how far we can get as far as getting it together. Now, it's supposed to be pretty darn simple as far as setting up for it. There's not really much to do as there was with the Ender 3 Pro. So what I'm going to try to do, like I said, is get this, set up at least on here. And then the nice thing about this is going to be being able to roll it around. it won't be this easy to do, but you know it will be fairly easy to roll it around. So that's what I'm going to do. And so when we come back, we'll have it sitting here. I'll unbox it, set it up on here, and we'll see what has to be done. Join me for that. Alright, so the first order of business here on the printer installation is to take and install this gantry. Now this comes pre-assembled, which is much better than the Ender 3 Pro. Again, you had to put it all together and then attach it, but it attaches with three long, well actually they're M3 14mm bolts from the bottom on each leg. They fit into the bottom, and then there are two smaller M3 8mm screws that secure the top on this one side. Now the motor's on the other side, so there's no connection there. But that's how you get the gantry on, and that's really all there is to that. That's the main part. I'd say the hardest part. I think the rest of it's pretty much a piece of cake, as they say. So what I'm going to do next, I'm just looking at that from this angle. It looks like that is skewed. I don't know if it is, but it looks like it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'll follow directions though, so okay, you gotta do that. Let's see what the next direction is. We have to install the control panel there, I think, and the filament holder on top. I think the filament holder is next, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Put the display screen on the right side bottom assembly, align the screw holes and secure with M410 screws. Then connect the display wiring. That's this thing here, I think. I believe that's what that is. Then fix the material rack assembly to the gantry frame, align the screw holes and lock it in with M5 8-inch screw or 8mm screws. So that's what that does. Now, like I said, it looks to me like that is skewed, but I can't be sure. Sure does look like it. Looking from here, so I don't think that's up all the way. It's tight both ways, so I guess maybe it's just shipped that way. I don't know, but you have to bring it down. I know that. To get those screws in, so. Alright. That looks alright. Again, it looks cockeyed though, I don't know. That's just my way of looking at it, or maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. I don't know. But I wouldn't think it was supposed to be. I would think it was supposed to be up, you know, level on that. So I don't know. We'll have to find out about that. Maybe there'll be something later on about it. We'll see. So the display basically goes here like that, and we'll do that next. Find some more screws here for it. Well, I think it said M10, 10mm, whatever they were, I believe. Okay, M410 is the ones for that, so let's get those out. I've got the two for the filament laying down there because they were mixed in with the ones for the gantry. You kind of want to keep track of these things. You don't want to let them go off on their own. So, I'm trying to keep all my garbage in the same spot. Make it a little easier. Let's see here. That's going to be difficult. I can see that right now. Let me find the correct. I doubt if it's the same one as I had, because it's a larger screw, so that wouldn't make sense. It is. Maybe it isn't larger. I don't know. But using the Allen key, you can do this a little easier, I guess is one way to look at it. So this was, I'm going to say this is magnitudes easier than doing the Ender 3 Pro. You guys remember, well maybe you remember the installation or assembly of the 3 Pro I did with Bob, and it was a long process. Of course, I had Bob on the other end of the video, and he was basically telling me what to do. Oops, if I shine it in my face, I can't see. Let's see. One thing, you can't really over tighten these because you're using the wrong end of the Allen key to do this with, because they just make it to where you can't get the other end in there. It's just over too far. Alright, that's good enough. Or we're going to call it good enough, so next thing we got to do is plug in the nice. Alright, where's my guide at? I know what I got to do next. I got to put that filament holder on. Of course, it will be difficult because the screws go in from the top. I'm sorry, in from the bottom. And I'll need the larger Allen key, I'm sure, because I know this one's bigger. Probably the biggest one, guessing. As this is the last screws I'll have to put in. I think the rest of it's together. But anyway, this is all there is to, 3 things here to put this together, and that's not too bad. Actually, it's the only one. It's looking to me like they all use the same one, which, would make it nice in one way, but they didn't. That's a little different. Not the biggest one, though. It's the next to the biggest one. There you go. But anyway, like I started to say, it's really not too bad. 3 items to install overall, and then you don't even have to level a bed. It does that for you too, that's my biggest thing, I guess, that I like about it, is the bed leveling. I mean, it's super handy, and so oops. I'm going to make sure that fits, because it doesn't look like it's going to fit. It doesn't. Alright, well that's obviously not right. Wonder if it goes in on top. Maybe. I think it does. Let me stand up here, get out of this chair, my comfort zone. Oh yeah, there they are. Ah, that makes it a little different. Easier, I should say. Yeah, it goes like this. Yeah, that's better. Alright. Yeah. See, that was easy. I tried to make it more difficult than it was. Oh well. You only live once, as they say. Alright, what do I do with the other screw? I know you're here somewhere. There it is. So again, once you get this done, I think... Now, one part I did mention, and I did do, is set the voltage control on the power supply to 115. It comes in 230 mode. And you kind of have to remember that here in the States to set that back to 115 so that it works correctly. And I have done that. Now here's the first one you can see that I can actually use this end of the, and I say you can see, but you probably can't see. I've got the camera pointed too low, I bet you. Let me see if I can get you up a little better, with a better view of what we're actually doing. There. Yeah, we're up here. But you can use this end of the Allen key, Allen wrench, whatever you want to call it, to tighten these. And they do need a good tighten, because that holds that heavy spool of filament. Well, I don't think I got this one tight enough. There it is. There we go. Good and tight. Good and tight. Alright, so that's that. Now, I think there's a couple other cables to hook up. In fact, I know there is. And I'll have to read about those. So we're going to go off here for a second, and I'll read about those, and then we'll be back. Alright, what we're looking at now is the one of the last, or not last thing, but one of the next things I had to do was to put this cable into the extruder, and the cable actually is down here, and then this had to be installed to basically hold the cable where it goes. There are little clips on each side of the cable end that holds it down into the pins, but then you install this to basically hold the whole thing together, and did that, no problem. And once you do that, you turn it around here and look at the back. Now this is another difficult part. This had to be in between, there's a, what do you call it, centered in that basically, and this is not real easy to get. In fact, it still wants to bunch up a little bit, but it's in there pretty good. That's where it goes, and then this little power connector goes onto the motor itself, and that goes there. And then, I know it's, you can see it, but I think we're looking at the bottom. This has to be connected. That's the last thing you have to do as far as connections are concerned. And that pretty much does the whole thing. So that's all there is to doing this. As you can see, it's not that hard. Not difficult at all, really. Didn't take long. I mean, you know. So, other than me taking time to read the instructions, things like that, you know, it went pretty quick. I was really impressed. So, basically, what I'm probably going to do next is break out the new filament. They supply some sample filament, and I'm not even going to bother with that. You know, I've been through this before. It's not my first rodeo, as they say. Here's the sample they supply. You can see there's not much to it. And I just soon put a full roll on there and go ahead and print what I'm supposed to be printing. And do the next step is to auto level the bed. Again, that is done automatically. You basically press or turn it on, plug it in and turn it on, and then you go over to the control panel and select auto level, and it does its thing. And once it's done, you're basically ready to print, which, you know, that's pretty darn good, I think. So we're gonna basically sign off here for this installment, because like I say, it's I want to finish up some other stuff that I'm doing. I just wanted to get this out and show you guys the new printer and just how easy it is basically to set this up. Everything's in the instructions. I'll try to post some pictures of the instructions along the way that show you that they're very clear and precise what they tell you to do. And probably the most unprecise thing was this thing here, because it says to position the claws, and I'm assuming those are the claws, the little metal, or not metal pieces, but plastic pieces there. And it's got arrows. It doesn't say to put it in the middle. It doesn't say anything about it, but that's where I figured it had to go. So, and there's a feather protection on the cable for this side, because this is fairly close to this, you know, so it would, you know, rub up and down on this, but it doesn't actually touch it. I've checked it. So I guess it'll be fine. And everything is honky-dory, as they say. And looking at that now, it looks like it might be the, well, I don't know, I can't tell. I guess it will maybe auto level. I don't know, maybe that's part of it. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Like I say, for anybody that's interested in obtaining one of these printers, these are, I haven't seen how it prints yet, but I've heard good things about it. A lot of YouTube stuff on it as far as, you know, how well it does and things like that. So very impressed with it, very pleased with it. That would be my main thing. And it's got a smaller footprint than the other printer, but yet it prints the same size. What do you call it? You know, that's one. It's a funny thing about. I'm thinking about printing one of these. I think you could, I don't know if you can see that or not, but one of these long legs, it would print it. I would just have to, you know, set it up in Tinkercad, but it would print it, and like I said, I could have that. But again, I don't know that I'm going to, because it's, to me, it's exactly the right height that I would want it at. It's not going to go up high enough to put all three of those banker boxes in there, so I'm not going to worry about that. Two of them is fine. Now, I was, you know, worried on how much it was going to be able to use them, but again, cutting the top of them off is not going to really mess up the storage that much of it. Inch off the top, so like I say, that's the way it goes as far as I know, and that's what we're gonna go with. So you guys, now I hated to do another 3D printer video, but again, I thought people that had commented and, you know, couldn't wait to see the new printer, well, there it is. Like I say, there you go. There's what it looks like, and you can see, I think on camera even, that looks like that side is lower than this side. I don't know. Maybe it's my imagination, and maybe again there's something more to it. I don't know. But again, that's it. I do have to pull this off, but that's not a big deal. It's not a touch screen anyway, so you know, I don't have to worry about that. Oh, I never mentioned this, but the card slot is over here on the side here, and it is a full-size SD slot. And they even provide you with a USB adapter where it can be plugged in to a, you know, computer USB like that. You don't even need a SD reader. It's got the USB connector right there. So that's nice. I will definitely have to start out using that because I'm not really sure if there's even a Octopi or Octoprint solution for this yet. So I'll have to wait for that, or somebody knows more than I do about it, because I wouldn't begin to take it. There is a USB port over here, and this also has a USB-C port, which everybody's going to obviously now. And so I've actually got a couple of C cables because my phone is C. So that will work out fine. Again, I've got another Octopi. I've got another Raspberry Pi that's not being used, so I could use it for this if nothing else. And once that is ready to go, I'll probably do that. But on this table, again, I'll comment on this table. This is a perfect size for it. It fits front to back. Obviously, it fits left to right. As you know, sides are fine, and so I'm very happy with that. I wish it had been, you know, it had the other piece just in case I wanted to use it, but you know, it's not a big deal. It works just fine. Again, I'll put my my tools in there, stuff like that for the printer, and that's really all you really need. So, and if there's anything else that I can, you know, store some things on that first shelf, that it's not totally useless. But again, there you go. So happy about that. You guys have a great day. Thank you so very much for watching, and we do appreciate that. And we will see ya.